newer talent in AEW. And when I say newer talent, I mean, when you look at the MJFs, the Jungle Boys, the Ricky Starks, the Darby Allins, when you look at where some of these people where when it first started or when they started to now.
Yeah, I feel like now Tony Khan and AEW are finally getting to a point to where you can trust the homegrown talent to carry the show. You don't have to rely as much on veteran guys that made their name in WWE per se, like a Chris Jericho or CM Punk or people of that nature. I feel like when AEW first got started, you had your popular homegrown guys by default, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they were never really the main focus. I feel like they were always secondary to whoever the hottest free agent coming from WWE was at the time. That being a Moxley, again, a Jericho, Christian Cage for a hot second, things of that nature. And now you got enough cachet, as you like to say, built up in the Jungle Boy. You got Darby Allin that's gone out there and proven he can have banger after banger in tag team and or singles action. You got a
For
guy like
sure.
an Eddie Kingston
Sure.
who will go out there and even though he might not be the best quote unquote wrestler, he can go out there and he can give you a promo, he can give you a story that make you want to watch it. You got the Lucha, you got the guys like the Lucha Bros who, even though they made their name elsewhere, it wasn't WWE. So therefore, again, they were some day ones at AEW. So, everybody I just named on the card, even when you flip it over to the women, you got your Anna Jays, you got your Ruby you got your Britt Bakers, excuse me. You got, people like that, and, Chris Statlanders, Nyla Rose, Rio, so I can keep going on. So, Nat Jade Cargill. So, right now, I feel like Tony Khan, he's doing a better job. He's doing a better job. I think, he heard people complaining, but I think looking back at the roster we had then compared to what we got now, I sort of understand. Because if you remember, like the first 2 years of AEW, the roster was just always changing. Now I feel like the last year and a half, you kind of got like a solidified core, your pillars, if you will. And you can kind of build around it. You could build around a guy like a Ricky Starks, who we knew was a breakout star from the jump. It kind of took a while, though, because, he was an FTW champion for a minute, didn't really do nothing because you had Brian Cage and all the other shit going on. And now you're starting to see these guys really kind of show their shit. MJF, I want to talk to you about that because a lot of people, and this is what I feel like is unfair, a lot of people were bitching and complaining because MJF on the last Dynamite, he was shown all throughout the show. Now, that's something that Tony Khan usually doesn't do. He usually don't have multiple segments like that with one person or just focused on one person. You might get one or two, but you'll get it thread throughout the show like that, but you'll get it thread over weeks' time. People don't say nothing when Roman Reigns come out and he got 5 or 6 segments. So it's like little shit like that, man. I feel like people are kind of nitpicking. And then a lot of people are thinking that MJF is getting stale. They think the gimmick is getting stale, which MJF has always been MJF. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people didn't really like his promo, but I mean, he always saying off the wall shit. I mean, he literally just called his boss a fucking mark on TV. So I don't know what more you expected or less from him.
Okay. Well, I think part of the problem is you got not a so much unproven heel, but MJF is fairly new. Roman Reigns has been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
So I think right now, when you look at who's got the better bad guy, you're looking at Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I think also, unfortunately for MJF, people still look at him as a Miz ripoff, which is gonna, which is gonna always play a part for him. But is the gimmick getting stale? No, and as far as him being all over the show Wednesday, yeah, that was unusual, and it was unusual because normally you don't see him that much. You may see him one time, he may talk